relate to this. You know, it's going to, I think, replace the daily newspaper.
Yes, because I've read it and I can't remember what you said it was. I can't remember.
The personal dashboard.
Yes.
Okay. Why do I say this? This is actually really important. It pulls together some of these concepts. The personal dashboard is actually something, if you're a tech executive, this is actually the first thing you look at each day. It's not totally personalized, it's partly, but it's like, here's our revenue, here's the GitHub tickets that are closed. And what you do as like CEO or an executive at a tech company is, it's like you're steering an airplane, but you're putting different dials. You're responsible for figuring out what those dials are and pulling them into the cockpit, right? So there's companies like Looker, for example, that just provide these sort of dashboard services. Why is this extremely important? You're in control of those dashboards, right? So the first thing you see as CEO each day, for example, is what was our revenue yesterday? What was our revenue over the last 30 days? What's our expenditure? Who's doing what, et cetera, et cetera. And you don't necessarily need to be like immediately reactive on every single aspect of that. But you see these metrics and you're looking for whether something is out of spec or whether it's going well. And then you kind of intervene on those parts of the company which are functional or non-functional, right? And so the crucial thing here is that is news you can use, right? That the locus of control is you. You can do something about it. Now you imagine that where it's not just your corporate dashboard, but it's your personal dashboard for your own fitness and so on and so forth, your diet, your sleep, like your Fitbit style thing. And then maybe like a family dashboard and you have like checklists like, you know, the pet needs X and the kids need, you know, Y, they need like vaccines or whatever it is, right? And if I don't know if your audience is like super anti-vax or whatever, if you want, you know,
thankfully
but
not.
Okay. All right. So the point is, you know, people need shots, they need, you know, pets need food or whatever it is. All of those things are just in like your personal dashboard and you're tracking these things, you know, and you have, maybe it's your bank account balance, et cetera. This is more useful to you than daily checking Twitter, daily checking Facebook. You know, Fitbit is actually a much better app in many ways than those, you know? And so you can imagine some combination of like Fitbit and Brilliant and your, you know, your bank account and so on. That's like brilliant.org. I love that site. That's like truth. That's like what you know, right? Fitbit is your health, truth, that's health. And then your bank account thing or your crypto is your wealth, right? So that's like, you know, the right app to check each day in my view. And then mediated by that, you can take other actions. And then everything else is actually seen as junk food, you know? And so rather than a social app, it's like a personal app. This is the kind of thing which, I mean, nothing I'm describing doesn't exist, you know, like, or I say, everything I'm describing exists, right? But the concept of it replacing the news is really important because the news is like, you know, think about, you know, opening your daily newspaper first thing in the morning. People have built that habit. I'm going to, you know, drink some coffee and read the newspaper first thing. That's not what you should read first thing. Random events on the other side of the world are not what you should care about first thing. That precious, precious space of like what you load into your brain the first thing, you know, frankly, perhaps your first few hours when you get up should be offline. Yep. You know, they should be like pen and paper, writing things out or write it up the night before. You should go and work out first, all that type of stuff. Some offline time is good. So you don't just immediately just jack into the internet, right? When you're getting up, you have some focus time. But when you do, then it should be dashboard in my view. And you can set that up yourself, by the way. You can just set up your own homepage. You can set up your own thing. You can set up your own dashboard. The apps exist. Deprioritize other people pinging you. So now you have at least a few hours each day where you're moving the ball forward in your own self-determined direction. Okay, let me pause there.